All right. I am a little bit late here, but I just wanted to get caught up on everything that happened this week in Married at First Sight. I was hoping I was going to get my review out last night, but I just wasn't able to. So here we are a day late, and I hope you'll all find it in your heart to forgive me. Um, as always, we'll go through all of our couples and discuss each of them one at a time. I wanted to open tonight with Amani and Woody. Overall, I still like this couple, but we're starting to see glimpses where Woody, I don't even know how to describe it. He kind of just starts pushing things a little bit too far, and I feel like that there is a limit to how much of that behavior Amani will put up with. And this is really the first week that I've looked at this couple and started to question, are they good for each other? For most of the time they seem great together, but there are those little moments where Woody either is pushing things too far or just doing a really terrible job of explaining things. It seems like he's very caught up on appearance, both his own and Abani's, and that is always something that has to linger in a relationship, because ultimately there has to be a lot more there than just physical attraction for them to be married for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah, it can't just be about sex, can't just be about having somebody who looks nice to go out and do things with. There has to be a lot more substance there. And I just get little glimpses of Woody maybe being a little bit shallow on that front. I'm really still rooting for them, hoping for the best for Woody and Amani. But I've got a few seeds of doubt that have begun to get planted in my brain about them. All right, next up, I'd hate to do this to everybody, but we got to talk about Olivia and Brett. I know. Yeah, I'm a broken record on the subject, but once again, Brett just showed us all why he is not even remotely close to being ready to get married. And I just feel so bad for Olivia, because you can just see how badly she wants it. And honestly, I think that her want is the only reason that she is still in this couple. Like, we had so many moments in tonight's episode, or pardon me, yesterday's episode, where we just got these glimpses of Olivia looking at Brett and just giving him that look like, are you friggin' serious right now? Like, are you being real? And it was nonstop. It didn't seem to matter what they were doing. Brett just couldn't take that sarcastic little look and tone out of the way he looked and talked. And just hearing all the way he responds to everything, like, he just seems like the kind of person who's just like, oh well, let's just wipe this problem under the rug and we'll never look at it again. He's not someone who has strong communication skills. We saw that even all the way back on the honeymoon, and tonight was a prime example that he has not improved at all whatsoever. He doesn't want to talk seriously about any issues that couple is facing, and as a result, when it comes to decision day, I just hope that Olivia walks away from Brett, because she deserves so much better. All right, next up, I would like to talk about Christina and Henry. Right when they were starting to head in a positive direction, things just really come crashing down for Christina and Henry, and all over a little trust exercise where Henry asked, hey Christina, what is your biggest deal breaker? And she says, a lack of confidence. And that is one of the biggest struggles for Henry. And it almost looked a little heartbreaking just watching him, hear her say everything that she said tonight, even going and talking about things like Henry really struggling with confidence because of being obese as a child, something he's really had to work to get over, and Christina basically just responding, well, then just get over it. And that is obviously not the way to handle Henry. You see Henry go and have his conversation with Bennett, and it's just like, wow, Bennett really just handled this well, really approached the conversation in a positive manner, and really said a lot of things that Henry really needed to hear. And as a result, Henry's a lot more responsive in that conversation. He's a lot more invested in that conversation with Bennett than anything we see from him and Christina. And then he goes back home to Christina, and really she starts just basically saying, well, if you want this to work, just don't be yourself. And that's just hard to watch, hard to hear, and I really just can't see this couple working out in the end. And as much as I want good things for them, I just don't see it happening together. Next up, we have Miles and Karen. They are slowly starting to head in the right direction. I don't know if they'll have enough time to get there by decision day, but it's good to see them just kind of move forward at whatever pace is necessary. And one very important thing that happened today was when they had their sit down with Dr. Viviana, that she said, why don't you just take sex off the table? And I'm sitting there watching and just thought to myself, that is exactly what they need. Without that looming over them, without having that constantly in the back of their minds, that they will really be able to move forward at a much more reasonable pace for them. Starting to see slow signs that maybe there is a chance that they make it, but I'm still a little on the fence about them overall. All season long, Karen has been looking for the negative. She's been looking for things wrong in Miles, and in order for them to work, I really think that she needs to start looking for more and seeing more positives, because ultimately, I think as individuals, they seem like great people. They seem like people who really do want to be married, do want to find a partner, and if they can kind of meet in the middle on a few things, improve that communication, start a little bit of affection, I think that they can get there by decision day. All right, that leaves our last couple, Amelia and Bennett. I say this, I think, every week, but I just love them. I really do. They are my favorite couple. I really enjoy every time they're on screen. They just seem like two happy, fun people, and one of the best matches that I've ever seen on this show. I would compare them to last season's only couple, Austin, and I just drew a blank. I'm gonna say I know I'm not even gonna guess the name. I just drew a huge blank, but that's okay. They just really just gel together. They work, and I think a lot of it just is their general attitude as people, and having just found another person who meshes into that so well. They do have that huge question looming over top of them about what happens if Amelia has to move for work. And I get the impression that Bennett is slowly leaning towards going with her. And I think we're going to get to see Bennett say those three little words next week that everyone always wants to hear. So that's kind of exciting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them grow as individuals and grow as a couple. And it's starting to look like they might be our only couple left at the end of this season. I'm still very positive on Woody and Amani as well, so hopefully they are there at the end. But yeah, at this point, I'm completely writing off Olivia and Brett. I'm completely writing off Christina and Henry. Got a small shred of hope for Karen and Miles. Strong positivity for Woody and Amani, and 100% all in on Amelia and Bennett. All right, I think that is where I'm going to wrap things up for tonight. I'll try to be back on the proper day next week. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, we'll see you later.